we got a whole new setup. This one's way more of a pain in the ass to put together than the other one, but you know what? I think it's gonna be worth it. If for no other reason than I had fun doing the whole thing. And that's what today is all about. How do you make your vlogs more interesting? So we've already done a video all about vlog ideas, YouTube video ideas, things like that. We've done 2 of them, actually. We've also done the whole how to vlog video. So the specifics, what to do, how to do it, we've already got those. We'll link to those below. This video is not about how to, it's not about content ideas. It's rather about how do you make this style more engaging? How do you do something that is gonna be a little bit more interesting for your viewers? And that's what we're gonna talk about today. I'm gonna give you 10 steps, 10 things you can do, and 10 things you can experiment with to add a new dimension to your YouTube videos. How to mix up your vlog style and give you some unique ideas to do something with your videos that, well, maybe people in your industry just aren't doing. And let's face it, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not a pro at any of this stuff. These are just the things that I've done and I'm going to be doing that are easy to do, that anybody can do to push yourself, challenge yourself, and frankly, just make more interesting YouTube videos. Intro, go. Wait, before we get the intro, check out this amazing caricature. I mean, that actually kind of looks like me. Who would have thought? Okay, now roll the intro. So, I used to be pretty good at making these vlogs. Made them kind of entertaining, I made them kind of funny, and somewhere along the line, I just started phoning it in. Maybe it was because I was comparing myself to the Peter McKinnons and the Matt D'Avellas and the real filmmakers of the YouTube world, and I just got, I don't know, got self-conscious, didn't think maybe I could do as good of a job, or maybe I just got lazy. This whole quarantine thing, it's taken its toll on everybody. But I made a decision. It's time things changed. It's time I start taking this a little more seriously. I don't know where that's gonna lead, but it's gonna start with today's video. All right, tip number 1, get a wireless mic. So this one that I've got right here, this had been sitting in my closet for like 2 years. I spent way more money than I should have investing in gears for my desk video. Yes, that video. And afterwards, this thing just kind of sat there, just like all the other equipment that I bought and didn't use. But this one, once I started shooting more videos, I was like, wait a second, maybe this wireless microphone will come in handy. And the reason I'm recommending it to you is because it allows you to be way more versatile with the type of shots you get. For instance, right now, this camera's got a telephoto lens. So it's about 15 feet away from me. And if there was just an on-camera microphone, you wouldn't be able to hear me very well. And yet, listen to that nice, crispy, clear sound. Or this shot of me that I shot in Crescent City of me on a giant rock by the ocean. What's up? Sean Ungle of Location Rebel on location, Crescent City, California. It's gonna be a good one today. Or in Washington Park, where I'm, 100 feet away from the camera. So I just filmed this entire shot, apparently didn't hit the record button, and then all of a sudden, this was the spot like 25 people wanted to hang out in for 20 minutes. So we're gonna try this again. I can come really, really close like this, and you can still hear me and I still sound good, even though I don't look very good right now. Or I can go way back here. And even though I might be out of focus, I can't tell, you can still hear me good. So a wireless mic gives you that flexibility. The one I've got is a Sennheiser that's about $600. So it's not cheap, but there are much more affordable versions that you can pick up on Amazon. And the versatility it's gonna give you when you're making your videos definitely makes it one of the best things you can invest in. Because as any good YouTuber knows, or as anyone who spends any time watching YouTube, sound is more important than video quality. Tip number 2, try doing a voiceover. Rather than just talking to the camera, put your story together with your visuals in your video and then talk over it. It's something that you watch on TV and documentaries and movies all the time, but often the person who's just starting out with videos doesn't think to do it. Let's face it, I'm sure you're very attractive, but sometimes you don't necessarily need to be the star of the show. Tell your story through your visuals.
So we really wanted a location that felt like it was totally in the middle of nowhere. Since there are a ton of great sand dunes on the Oregon coast, we started a search for something that felt like it might be, in the middle of the Sahara Desert or something. We ruled out a bunch of locations based on the fact that, well, we really didn't feel like hauling a desk up and down some pretty seriously steep and fairly remote sand dunes.
Well, screw that. I'm here to tell you about this wondrous thing called the internet.
Number 3, use text. So this is something, some of my most successful videos are when I've used text. And I don't just mean, step number 3, use text and put it across the bottom. I mean, use text to actually tell your story and do it in a big, bold way. Oftentimes when I'm shooting like a travel vlog or I'm doing something on location, I realize, oh, I didn't shoot enough stuff to be able to tell the whole story. So a voiceover is a good way to fill that in and tell that story, but you can also use text as kind of a stylistic element that's a little bit more bold that when coupled with music can make for a pretty effective storytelling tool. So here's a clip of a video I shot when I was down at Pebble Beach like 6 months ago. I didn't quite get everything I wanted, so I used text in the beginning of it to tell a better story. Simple iron, all you gotta do, pop it right in the middle of the fairway.
Bingo.
Like that.
Should have club twirled.
I don't know how to club twirl.
We need to teach. That could be a video right
get a
there.
club twirl lesson?
That could be a video.
The expert.
This is team club twirl.
How do we do this?
And he's holding that. Wait for the club twirl. Oh, there it is. He likes it.
And any comments about my golf swing, I'm going to completely ignore. So just save your time, save your energy. You don't need to put anything in the comments. I know, I've got a funny looking golf swing. So there. Number 4, try shooting in a different frame rate. Most people that are just getting started, they just hit record on their camera, and that's gonna be 30 frames per second. The stuff you watch on TV, the stuff you watch in a lot of YouTube videos, that's generally 30 frames per second. 24 frames per second is for a more cinematic look. Movies are made in 24 frames per second. All of my vlogs, for instance, are in 24 frames per second. You can also go the other direction and do 60. So 60 is often when you get that very smooth look where things don't quite look natural, but what that allows you to do is in post, you can put that into slow motion. So let's say you've got a skateboard YouTube channel and you're gonna go do a trick and you wanna show riding up to the trick, and then you wanna go in slow motion when the trick happens, and then you wanna see him ride out. You can shoot that in 60 frames per second, so you still get the whole thing, you still get all the sound, and it looks really cool. Or you can go even farther and do 120 frames per second. That's essentially super slow-mo, and it's a very stylistic thing. A lot of YouTubers do it. But if you've just kind of gotten bored of sitting in front of the camera and you feel like it's not that interesting, kind of like the way I'm feeling with some of my videos down in my basement where I just sit in front of the camera and talk, you take a step back and you try and experiment a little bit. 120 frames per second can be a great way to do that. 60 frames per second can also add some versatility. So experiment a little bit and see where it takes you. Number 5, do a one-room challenge. This is something I learned from one of my all-time favorite filmmakers, Brandon Lee. The thing I love about Brandon's work is he doesn't use that much equipment, and he travels all over the world and gets some unbelievable shots. Like, check out this really quick clip of a Hong Kong video that he did. He's a one-man crew, and he did almost all of that by himself. It's absolutely mind-boggling. But one of the things he suggested to help with your creativity is take 2 hours and shoot a film or shoot a vlog in one room. It's gonna force you to be as creative as possible within your given constraints and start forcing yourself to come up with new ideas. So, for instance, I might do a one-room challenge down in my basement and say, okay, instead of just pointing the camera straight ahead and talking to it, what can I do to mix things up? You might also notice that this entire video so far, aside from clips that I had shot previously that I've thrown in, all been shot in one room. Let's see, maybe I can even get a little more creative and come up with some other stuff as well. I'd like to take a pause. This is the first time I've shot one of these vlogs in full manual mode. It's the first time I've set up a light there and a light there and a light there and a light back there. And the light from the windows is changing. So if all of a sudden I'm brighter or darker or whatever, give me a break. I'm making an effort here, people. We're trying to get better at this. This is going back to one of my goals for 2020, which is craft. Get better at my craft and the things that I enjoy doing. I'm trying, and that's what's most important. There's a little, this wasn't even one of the 10. A little extra lesson for you. Try. No harm can come from trying, and you'll feel better for having done it, even if it doesn't turn out the way you want. Number 6, Rent a new camera lens for 24 hours, or go buy a new lens or a new camera. Get a new tool that gets you excited about using it. So I've been using the same camera and the same lens for like 6 months now, and that's great. I really like it's a very good camera and I'm still learning how to use it, but I've also found myself kind of being like, oh, what if I were to get a wide angle lens? What would that do for my vlogs? It's what all the other vloggers use, and here I am with this, kind of 24 to 105 zoom lens. What if I went like 15 to 35? You can get a whole different element. Then all of a sudden, I can get way up close and get the entire room in here. You can do all sorts of stuff. And so that's one of the things I've been thinking about doing to inspire myself to get more creative and come up with different shots. So if you've been shooting with the exact same thing for a while, then maybe go find a way to shoot with something else. Maybe you can borrow it from a friend. But a great way to do it is to go rent it. You can do it for under $100, and that'll just allow you to mix up your stuff a little bit and try something new. Number 7, add sound effects to your vlogs. And when you're just kind of like sitting in your room and talking to a camera, it can be tough to find, good ways to add sound effects.
Ooh.
But if you're walking around, if you're shooting any B-roll, sound effects can completely change the dynamic of your video and actually make it sound much more professional than maybe it is. Personally, I use Epidemic Sound for all my music, for all my sound effects. It's awesome. I think I pay like maybe $150 a year, but you get thousands of sound effects, thousands of background tracks, and it really allows you to create a new element to each of your videos. So number 8, speaking of sound effects, try new music as well. You can completely change the feel of a video by what music you choose. And if you're trying to set a scene or trying to set a tone, the music is going to be one of the primary things that does that. So for instance, in a recent video, I was trying to have a little bit of fun in my basement, mix up, kind of do a little one-room challenge of my own, and I shot this quick clip.
Do you hear that? It's coming. I don't know what it is, but it's coming for us. God, I don't know what to do. Oh, shit. It's there. What's up, guys? I'm Sean Ogle, and this is another Small Win Wednesday, where we're going to show you exactly how to find killer music for your YouTube videos.
So very quickly, you can see how the contrast in music makes you feel the thing I want you to feel. I can use music to add to the fear and the unknown and the mystery. And then when I kind of prove it's all a joke, you got happy music that's uplifting and says, okay, it was just a joke. You can relax. And it's pretty amazing what music can do to elicit emotions. And even though you're just shooting a vlog or YouTube videos, you want the people that are watching to feel something. And music's one of the best ways to do that. Number 9, experiment with different camera angles. This whole thing, just the whatever, this might serve as the base of my video, but then hopefully I've gone back and I've reshot some things in some different camera angles to, just mix it up a little bit.
Maybe you go down low with the camera.
Or, you go high and you shoot a whole video like this. Can you imagine if I shot a whole video like this? It's like the world's longest selfie stick we got going on here. Because you see, in one room, there's an unlimited number of things I can do, and angles, and things I can play with. See, I could do a one-room challenge where I just walk around like this and give you a tour of my room, which is still pretty messy, so maybe we won't do that. But, so many options. Like, here's the one time I experimented with a top-down shot.
Let's do this.
I actually thought it turned out pretty cool. I don't know why I don't do more of that. Maybe because it was a little bit of a pain to set up, but that's not an excuse, now is it? We're taking our craft seriously these days. That's what we're doing. Sorry, got a little excited there. And we all know these days, people don't have long attention spans, especially with YouTube videos. So every 20, 30 seconds, you want to be catching their attention. You want to be changing something. And this is one of the biggest flaws I've had in my videos over the course of the last 6 months, is a lot of them is just me talking, going on, and I'll go for 4 or 5 minutes of just talking. And I've tried to make it useful. I've tried to make that content interesting and helpful and informative, but I feel like at times I've maybe lacked on the entertaining value, whether it's entertaining through my hilarious jokes, through my use of sound and sound design or my use of camera angles and just showing different things. I haven't really been doing a whole lot of that. So get the camera off the tripod, try some different things, and see where you end up. And finally, my last tip for making your YouTube videos more creative, more interesting, it's to find somebody to do it with. There's only so much you can do when it's just you on your own. So find a friend to hold the camera. Find a friend that's funnier than you are and put them on camera. Recently, I was out golfing with my dad and I shot some stuff with him, which, you know, it turns out people like my dad more than me.
You told me the greens were slow.
No, I said at Sheep Ranch they were slow because they're brand new.
In the sheep ranch?
You're an idiot.
You make me sad, Sean.
Which that was a little disheartening to see. And he's the one who's probably going to be editing this video, so he's going to hear me say that. And that's just going to boost his ego. So maybe I should just delete this clip.
Tip number 10.1. Always remember, there's 1,000 different ways your editor can mess with your stuff. Maybe we should just delete this whole vlog.
But my point being, get somebody else involved. You never know when they might have a great idea, or when you're kicking things around, you end up with something totally different that you wouldn't have come up with on your own. Not to mention having another personality in your video, that can add a dynamic that you just can't simply have by yourself when you're sitting in front of a camera like this. So there you go. Those are my 10 ways to get more creative with your YouTube videos, and frankly, this was a love letter to myself, or at least a reminder to myself that I need to stop being so lazy. I need to take this seriously, and I need to have fun with it. Last week, I did the whole video about chore versus privilege and how when I was in 7th grade, doing this would have been like my ultimate dream. Kind of took that for granted a little bit. So it's time to re-engage and just start having more fun with the videos and taking them seriously again. So I'm looking forward to doing that. We have new videos every Monday and Thursday. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit subscribe, hit that notification button so you're notified every time we have a fantastic video, and hopefully they're going to be even more I should also sidetrack. It's not like I'm just gonna completely go away with the whole basement studio thing, because those are often, if I'm teaching you something in depth, that is often the best way to do it. But we're gonna just try and add more stuff that's better and fun and more interesting. So cut me some slack as we're working through this. My point being, new videos every Monday and Thursday. If you want to build a small lifestyle business that allows you to quit your job, spend more time doing the stuff you love to do, then go to locationrebel.com/YT. We got a free 6-day course that's going to walk you through all the steps, how to get started. And with that, I've got to go shoot some more stuff for this video so that we can mix it up and I can live up to my goal of trying different things. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace. What'd you think? Did you like this? Did this work? Should I do more videos like this? Do you like this setup? This is a whole new thing for me. Thumbs up. Come on, you can do it. Give it a thumb. Give the old like. Hit the subscribe. And if you want something else to do, go watch that video right there. You'll like it.